76% of K-12 teachers are currently reporting extreme levels of professional stress. This chart shows why. You'd think educational tech eases the burden, but tossing apps at classrooms drives burnout higher. To see what happens when solving structural problems by just throwing gadgets at them, look at South Korea's Total Replacement Initiative. The government spent $800 million attempting to swap physical textbooks for AI-powered tablets. The result was immediate operational failure. The sudden learning curve overwhelmed the teaching staff. Actual usage collapsed to just 19%, and the tablets were eventually stripped of their statutory textbook status. Fixing the burnout crisis requires moving beyond hardware procurement. Effective systems integrate AI directly into the school's daily operations as a core utility that maintains the entire institutional ecosystem. The South Korean case clearly reveals that without a targeted strategic goal, either administrative relief or pedagogical support, technology becomes a burden. This forces a choice: solve the back-end administrative crisis or the front-end classroom gap. Japan and Singapore represent the two clearest examples of these choices, having successfully prioritized teacher capacity over simple gadget distribution. Japan's GIGA School Phase 2 model is built on a single, ruthless philosophy: back-end first. Looking at this comparison matrix, Japan starts with a strict infrastructure mandate. They consolidate previously separated teaching and administrative devices into one highly secure, unified system. Districts are issuing dedicated smartphones directly to teachers, eliminating the severe security risks of using personal messaging accounts. But the engine of the Japanese model is their patented local storage generative AI. In practice, a teacher can simply speak casual, disorganized voice notes into their device after class. The AI instantly organizes those notes into rigorously formatted student reports and grading files. Because it runs on local storage, sensitive student data never touches a public cloud. The trade-off is that you sacrifice the ability to easily share data across different schools in the district, but privacy is guaranteed. To deploy this effectively, the Japanese Ministry of Education had to rewrite the rules, explicitly lifting previous age restrictions on generative AI usage. With those limits gone, educators are now actively encouraged to let AI automate the heavy lifting of building differentiated tests and complex grading rubrics. Japan intentionally ignores flashy classroom tech. Instead, they focus their budget on aggressively eliminating the off-hours paperwork that primarily drives teacher turnover. Singapore's EdTech Masterplan 2030 takes the exact opposite approach. They prioritize front-end integration. They are solving a very different crisis. Singapore recently enacted a full SBB policy, which eliminated traditional academic tracking. This placed students with wildly different capability levels into the exact same classroom. To manage this extreme diversity, we update our matrix. Singapore embeds non-generative machine learning diagnostic engines directly into their national learning platform. This acts as an invisible traffic cop. It allows a class of 40 students to tackle math or geography simultaneously, but at completely individualized paces and difficulty levels. You can see the result here. The technology manages the baseline pacing for the room independently. This forces a complete shift in the teacher's daily routine. Instead of delivering universal lectures to the middle of the pack, the teacher monitors the data and executes highly targeted one-on-one interventions with the specific students who hit a roadblock. The necessary trade-off here is control. Teachers have to surrender their traditional grip on classroom pacing and trust the AI's diagnostic recommendations. To prevent the tech from overreaching, Singapore enforces a strict four-principle ethical framework: agency, inclusivity, equity, and safety, ensuring the AI operates strictly as an assistant, never a replacement. The Singaporean model relies on shifting the teacher's primary task from lecturing to individual intervention. For teachers struggling with completely untracked classrooms, this reorganization provides the capacity they need to reach every student. We know these focused approaches work. This chart highlights the empirical results. Weekly prep time drops by 60 to 85%. Teachers spend 43% more time focused on individual students, and the overall achievement gap narrows by 22%. But hitting those numbers requires systemic leadership. You have to completely overhaul your school's policy frameworks before you authorize a single software license. Look at this decision scorecard. You need to identify the primary friction point threatening your institution right now. If you fit Profile A, where the primary threat is teacher turnover, driven by endless grading, compliance paperwork, and off-hours messaging, You need the Japanese path. Allocate your capital toward device unification, procure local storage generative AI, and enforce a strict ban on unofficial communication channels. If you fit Profile B, where your teachers are failing because they cannot manage the extreme capability gaps in untracked classrooms, choose the Singaporean path. Divert your funds away from general-purpose tablets and invest heavily in non-generative adaptive learning platforms that can handle the baseline pacing for your staff. AI is never going to fix inherently bad teaching. But when you deploy it strategically to address your actual structural bottlenecks, it provides the essential capacity required for good teachers to survive and succeed.